Another day, another game, but I forgot to record my voice. So I'm going to record it here and just go through what my thought process was. The first game was a little sad because, what am I doing here? We were playing against the Dipplin deck, which in of itself is a very strong deck. Why is the quality of the video so bad? Oh my god. Okay, so I placed down double Duraludon, had a fairly good start. I saw that they were playing max spell, so I was a little scared of that. We do have the advantage here because we are getting 30 less damage from grass type Pokemon. The problem was that with the fish, you can still do a lot of damage because the fish is not grass type. Okay, so here was my thought process. I saw them getting the bench ready and I thought to myself, well, they're just going to punch me next turn and I'm going to lose. So I'm simply going to risk it and going to play the Meowth. Because what the Meowth does is it buys me 1-2 turns before I'm going to get knocked out. They have two hands in card, unless they have a Lillie just like that, which, to be fair, they oftentimes do. They're not going to be able to attack right away, even if they can retreat the next Pokemon. So I judge. No, I don't judge. I throw away Judge and the cat for Ultra Ball. No, sorry. Judge and what did I throw away? Let me see again. I'm just... the Dunsparce, sorry. I'm just rambling. Okay, so that one was thought process because I wanted to get Boss to lock something else to the main gate. So, the first reason was, if I boss something, they're losing one grass energy, right? And second of all, if I boss something that isn't going to evolve into a festival lead Pokemon, then they need to attach to that Pokemon. They cannot search out anything, and then I'll hopefully break them that way. Even though I didn't want to place the cat, I had to. Then I just passed, and they had two cards in hand. They got themselves a Thwackey. And another, I think, another Thwackey was the other one. And the Dipplin. No hand cards, which is really good for me. Now I just needed to pray. I placed the Dunsparce Basic Energy to the Duraludon, but I usually like to put the energy last because, you never know what you really need to do. Sometimes I misplay that. Okay, so here's the thing. Now they're drawing one card, and that was the boss. So they wanted to boss the cat to make sure that I can't knock out the Petilil. And maybe that would have been the better turn to not knock out the Petilil. The problem though is that if they evolve this into a Lilligant, they're doing, 20 or 30? They're doing 20 or 30 more damage, and I don't really want that at all. Like, I really need to make sure that all the damage modifiers are not going to hit me at all. The good thing is I got a Dunsparce and I have an Archie in my hand. Sometimes you just gotta pray and hope that the cards in your hand are going to do the work. Obviously, they're gonna get a Lillie to just get another full board of Pokemon. They're doing the wave, only 70 to my Duraludon, which is very good. I mean, they still are going to knock it out, but they need to two-shot it. I thought to myself, well, now the time has come. I really need to thin out my deck, and also, if I don't attack now, the game is kinda over. So the Dunsparce prayed. I placed the energy because I knew I had two in deck. Here I attached first instead of last because I wanted to Lillie and I didn't want to give him another two-prizer. and overbench myself because I needed another Duraludon. Jamming Tower was really nice, a really nice inclusion. Then I Runaway Drawed. I Iron Defendered, I think, to give me less damage. Maybe the stamp wasn't quite the move here, but fortunately enough, we got another Duraludon down, knocking out their first attacker, and we are at 2 prize cards, which is really good. Now, no matter who they're choosing, I think they cannot knock me out because we're taking 30 less damage because of the Iron Defender. And the Dipplin does 30 damage to us either way because they're plant Pokemon, like a grass Pokemon. So the smartest thing that they actually did was just load up their hand as much as they could to get themselves a Seaking and draw and hit me to kind of hope to soften me up, because the Seaking is going to only do 60 damage. Now here I did a play that I'm not quite sure was the smartest play, but it did something. Metal Lab obviously to bump their stadium, retreating. Then I attached another energy. I evolved into the Archaludon. And here I wonder if I should have just hit into the Seaking, but I chose the Dipplin for some reason. I think I was still traumatized because the Dipplin is such a strong Pokemon, but obviously not compared to the... I mean, the Dipplin still does 100 if they find a Brave Bengal, or if they have the max belt, the Dipplin is going to do 130. Times 2 is 260. Yeah, which is definitely very scary. But, exactly. And if they would have found the Kyurem, they wouldn't have done 160. They would have done enough to knock out my Archie. So here, the Seaking, because it only does 60, that's actually the right move, because now even though they're doing a lot more damage to us, it's not going to be enough to knock out our Archie. And what I want to do is obviously to get rid of all of their strong Pokemon that can knock me out. Obviously the max belt is really scary, so that's why in my next turn I thought to myself, well, I need to cycle another Duraludon. This was a tough decision because I didn't really know what to do here. I wanted to play the Ultra Ball, but I didn't have enough cards. I needed to attach for turn. I didn't want to give him a 2-prizer. The idea here is to force them to play either boss or something else, but not both things. So if we got lucky, we hit an energy. So believing in the heart of cards is always very good. Attaching to the Duraludon because we're going to retreat. The good thing is if they boss, they cannot boss and play the max belt or whatever. So this is going to be really good for us. Just taking the knockout here to not get any damage from the Seaking anymore. And then we have 2 prize cards left, which is a little spicy because they can definitely knock out the Archie with 1 knock and then knock out something. No, they can't knock out something else. They're getting an Applin. Just all the Applins. Boom Boom Groove. I thought they would get a boss. But what they actually got was... I don't remember actually. Maybe they just got the boss. Yes, they got the boss. But for some reason, they either misplayed and hit the... used the Archaludon with 60 damage, or they... yeah, okay. Yeah, I think they kind of misplayed there. And that was like a big problem. Because what they should have done was probably get the other one and just force me to put something else into the front, and they soften up another one. But we were really fast in our price race, so they would have only gotten 2 prize cards, etc., etc. So it doesn't really matter. Here I was talking about how I'm going to adjust this deck because I saw it on Limitless, the City Leagues, and I thought to myself that the Dunsparce is kind of unnecessary. The EX one, also, I don't want to play Unfair Stem. I don't feel like the meta decks are really going to struggle against Unfair Stem. I rather would like to play something that is useful for me and really disrupts their game, so I decided to play Scoop Up Cyclone. I also added the Archaludon that is good against basic decks, because then I have a way better matchup against all of the slot boxes. The Mega Mawile is cool. I haven't used it yet, which is very interesting because it means that maybe I am going to cut that in the future. Yeah, what else? I cut down to 3 boss instead of 4. I think 3 boss is very, very viable. I was thinking about what do I do against Shred, and I need a Shred attack, but then I noticed, oh, if I just let them hit into me with a fresh Crustle without me punching them first, then they're doing 90. And 90 plus 80 is 170, which knocks out a Crustle plus the special energy. Obviously, the Hero Escape is going to be a big struggle, but I didn't quite know what else to do, so I kind of opted for this version. But keep in mind that after the next game here... Wait a minute. Do I ever have a next game? No, I don't think so. In the next game that I'm going to post, I actually play the Dunsparce again because I thought to myself, oh, maybe that's actually a good late game attacker for slot boxes and anything that plays a bunch of Ogre Pawns and stuff. So that was kind of my thought process. Then I switched the new stadium, because it's not live yet here, for the Metal Defenders. It's really nice to have just 30 less damage. My current list is going to be using 2 of these in 2 battle cages, because I just believe the battle cage is way more important now that the red card is coming out and Dragapult is live and yada yada, you know, the whole shenanigans of how are you going to make do with the monkeys and with the Cyclopses, Duskulls, I mean. But I don't feel like this is the perfect list just yet. I had the Acerola in here, never used it, it never came to fruition, let's say. So in my newest build, I just cut it out. I don't think it's a bad card, but I just feel like I haven't been able to use it, and then it's kind of a dead card, especially at the beginning of the game. So I prefer to have something to either set up or to be stronger, have more health. Yeah, and then that's kind of that game. So obviously the Dipplin deck is going to be not going to be the worst matchup here, because you have so much HP and you're getting 30 less damage. Especially bumping. I really like having 4 stadiums, because when you bump 4 stadiums, at the end, they are not going to be able to respond to anything. So you wait for them to play the first stadium, then you put yours down, yada yada. Such goes the tale of Festival Lead versus your stadium. And the Scoop Up Cyclone just feels really good. I actually also added a Relicanth, because I feel like some decks just cannot hit the 300. And then you can either boss something really, really heavy, like a 3-prizer with a Relicanth and do a lot of damage. Or you Scoop Up Cyclone to get rid of all the damage, and then get a fresh Archie into play, punch something. Especially for the Okie Dokie deck, that's good. And also we need something to get out of retreat lock if there's any deck that's going to retreat lock us for a million turns. I also added, I think, a Shaymin, because we still do have our believers in our league, and also the Slowking is going to be really strong now that the Metagross is coming out. I don't want to get Kyurem twice, so yeah, that's kind of the idea. See ya.